Thanks for making KRTV a part of your night. I'm Tim McGonigal. First, a huge decision this morning from the U.S. Supreme Court in a Montana case involving public aid for religious schools. In a 5-4 decision, the High Court said the Montana Constitution cannot be used to prevent a state tax credit from helping fund the education of kids attending religious schools. The case involved a 2015 law that created a $150 income tax credit for donations to private scholarship organizations. But the State Department of Revenue said any scholarship funded by the tax credit could not go to children who attend a school affiliated with religion. 3 Kalispell parents, with the help of a national group, challenged that rule in court, and the Montana Supreme Court said the tax credit program violated Montana's constitutional ban on public aid to religious organizations and threw out the entire program. But the parents appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, which said today that Montana's ban violates the U.S. Constitution's Freedom of Religion Clause. One of the parents, Kendra Espinoza, who was the lead plaintiff, told MTN News this morning that the family is thrilled by the decision.
We are very, very excited about this decision. We were yipping and hollering this morning about this, so this is very exciting. What this means for us is that we get to continue our enrollment there. This ensures that we have that ability to, with scholarships, when scholarships are available, that means that we have that ability to continue at Stillwater Christian School with that education that they have thrived at and they've done so well with so far.
The families had continued to benefit from the scholarships while the case was on appeal. Now, the Supreme Court ruling tonight is a victory for religious schools across the country. Our Joe St. George is at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. with how this is impacting more than just Montana.
Well, it's not every day that Montana has a major ruling from the United States Supreme Court here in Washington, D.C., but today is one of those days. We should be clear, though, the High Court did not say the states must fund religious education. Chief Justice John Roberts, who sided with the conservatives on this 5-4 ruling, writing, a state need not subsidize private education, but once a state decides to do so, it cannot disqualify some private schools solely because they are religious. Again, this case was really about potential changes in the separation of church and state. Montana has that constitutional ban on public aid to religious schools. 38 states have similar bans. Now, today's ruling goes well beyond the state of Montana. It will allow conservatives in other states the ability to pass new laws attempting to make it more affordable for parents to send their child to a religious school. Already, legal challenges are expected in places like Vermont and in Maine. However, the more progressive of a state, the less likely this ruling will change anything. Most Democrats believe that public aid tax credit should only go to public schools. As a reminder, around 4 million students attend religious schools around the country. Outside the United States Supreme Court in Washington, I'm Joe St. George, MTN News.
Well, another story making headlines tonight. Today, Dr. Anthony Fauci brought up the concern over surging cases of coronavirus during a Senate committee hearing. He suggested some states may be skipping over checkpoints when it comes to reopening. Dr. Fauci also said what's seen in photos shows people are not social distancing, which plays a major role in rising case numbers. Dr. Fauci says if we don't start making changes now, we could reach 100,000 new coronavirus cases per day. Montana state health officials reported 49 additional COVID cases this morning, the second largest increase since the pandemic began. The highest was just yesterday with 56. As of today, there are now 300 active cases of COVID-19 in Montana. The total number of cases since March is approaching 1,000. Of the 981 total cases, about 2/3 are considered recovered. Currently, there are 12 people hospitalized by the virus in the state, and there have been 22 COVID-19 related deaths. The Great Falls Public Library continues to operate during the COVID pandemic. It received a $10,000 state coronavirus relief fund grant, and with that money, they're making a drive-through window where the back book drop already exists. Library Director Susie McIntyre says once the drive-through window is done, it will serve a lot of purposes even after COVID-19.
You know, I know when my daughter was little and I would think, oh, going into the library, it's going to be like an hour because she wants to play with all the fun stuff and look at all the things. And I just really want to pick up my holds. So people will be able to drive through without coming all the way in. So in the winter, when you don't want to get out of your car and walk in, you can just get much quicker service. So there are other libraries that do have drive-throughs, and they report that it's been very popular. Library hopes to have the project done by late July, but will need additional funding to have it completed.
Well, the Independence Day parade scheduled for Saturday in downtown Great Falls has been canceled due to COVID-19 concerns, even after working outside the box, developing several plans to keep the community and visitors safe. With rising cases, the risk is simply too high. The Health Department, along with commissioners, CDC, and Board of Public Health, made the request to cancel the event. This had us wondering about the Black Eagle Parade. We spoke with Greg Shoby, the general manager at Black Eagle Community Center. He says they plan to still go forward with theirs, but this year will be a slightly different version. Think of it as a backwards parade.
Reverse means all the floats, everybody in the parade is going to be stationary. We're still going to do it down Smelter Avenue. Everybody's going to basically drive through the parade itself and look at all the floats and people that we have in the parade. So that alleviates people being, exposed or, big groupings of people. For a parade to happen, that was the only thing that we could come up with, which it's upsetting a little bit, but it's going to be kind of a cool little scenario to be able to still host some kind of a parade.
And that parade will start at noon. Well, once again, rain is moving into our area, and our STORMTracker weather team is here to tell us more. Grant Garland joins us now. Grant, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm a little hungry, but hey, aren't we all? Good evening, everybody. I hope that you have had a great Tuesday so far. Rain is moving back into the area as the low pressure starts to make its way towards the north. We're going to go ahead and zoom in here, though, towards Glasgow, looking at some rain that's moving towards Scobie as well as Plentywood, Culbertson, and Wolf Point. Glasgow not really seeing much rain at the moment, but then we hightail it out towards Cutbank, seeing a few light showers there, also down towards the Teton Pass and Shoto. And then also where we're seeing a few thunderstorms out and about is northwest of Winifred, and that is moving towards Hayes and Fort Belknap. Now we still are looking at a flood watch for those in St. Mary and Hart Butte, so heads up, this is until 6 p.m. tomorrow. As far as what we've seen today, we've only picked up 800 of an inch in Helena and almost 4/10 of an inch in Cutbank. And we're looking at still, though, a surplus in both this month and for the year, even though we haven't seen rain yet. Later in the show, I'm going to break down when we can expect for possible severe weather tomorrow. But for now, back to you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Grant. Kalispell Regional Hospital has won the request for proposal to acquire the Marias Medical Center and its facilities in Shelby. While the distance between Shelby and Kalispell may be large, MTN's Matt Holzaffel reports that the changes to service to Toole County residents won't be.
Our philosophy here is that healthcare is always better when it can be delivered close to home. That can't always happen, but it is better for the patient when it can happen.
After winning a request for proposal to buy several medical facilities in Shelby, Kalispell Regional Hospital now faces an up to 6-month process to finalize the sale. They say that, at least for now, there won't be many changes to the Toole County facilities.
Right now, you aren't going to see any changes, right? I think as we all start working together closer, it's hard to know exactly which things might change or might not change.
Marias Healthcare Services works closely with the medical center to contract services for patients in Toole County. They say they're excited about the move.
Our community healthcare clinic and medical professionals provide services and care to patients at the hospital. So now with the partner of potential being Kalispell, we are eager to build and even have a better working relationship with them.
A relationship that's been around for some time, including during the coronavirus pandemic.
The most important thing is whatever the needs are of the patient, those are what's going to take precedence, right? So if a patient had a problem that they couldn't travel, obviously the physicians are going to make that right call.
While it isn't clear what changes Toole County residents can expect just yet, it sounds like leaving care local is a priority.
We have expressed that we know the people that we care for. They're our communities, they're our families, our friends, and they're our neighbors. And we serve Sunburst, Valier, Conrad, and Shelby area. And these people want their access to care to be local.
In Shelby, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
Jamie says there is a meeting with Kalispell Regional Hospital officials scheduled for tomorrow to discuss what potential changes could be coming to Marias. Well, easing overcrowding, the Cascade County Sheriff talks about an issue at the detention center when we come back.
Welcome by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. While jail overcrowding isn't a new burden for Cascade County, the sheriff is concerned with the lack of movement from inmates whose cases have already been ruled on. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt spoke with the sheriff. He explained how the public can help resolve overcrowding within the Cascade County Detention Center.
Jail overcrowding isn't a new concern for Cascade County.
It is no secret that we've had jail overcrowding in Cascade County for quite some time.
What is new is that over a third of the additional 88 inmates overcrowding the Cascade County Jail don't require jailing.
This year in particular, we've had many DOC inmates that have been inside our county jail. These inmates have been the cause of overcrowding for months.
But after weeks of requesting that these inmates be moved, Sheriff Slaughter has yet to receive a response from either the governor's office or the DOC director.
They failed to return my phone calls. They are now ignoring the people of Cascade County. This is unacceptable when we are housing and caring for their inmates.
Now Slaughter says it's the public who must demand action.
I am now asking the citizens of Cascade County to call the governor's office and demand action. Demand that they move their inmates and make room in our jail.
He hopes that by calling on the governor, the public can enact change that will allow him to protect civilians and inmates alike.
I need to have the ability to house dangerous criminals and protect the public. Just because COVID-19 is happening, government function cannot cease. The public demands that we do the right thing, protect people's constitutional rights, and protect the public.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Well, yesterday we had over 2 inches of rain here in Great Falls. How much more could we see? Well, stay tuned to my full forecast coming up after this break. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Tuesday, even if we have had to deal with some rain in some parts. A lot of us still have been able to see a mix of sun and clouds, but let's go ahead and zoom in where we are looking at some rain up towards Cutbank, looking at light showers as well as Shoto, Teton Pass, Hart Butte. Elsewhere out in Chester, just scattered showers out and about, nothing really to complain about. However, though, as we head out towards Winifred, we're seeing these thunderstorms that have been making their way up towards the northeast. So we're seeing haze in the mix of this as well as Fort Belknap. Now, the reason why we're looking at this is because of a low pressure up at about 3 miles in the atmosphere. We're seeing some wraparound moisture that's causing these showers and thunderstorms to move in from the west as our low pressure moves off towards Canada. Now, because of all this, it will continue to be doing so tomorrow, and we are expecting a low chance even though, I should say, for some isolated severe thunderstorms. Now, the main threat will be for our friends out in Lewistown as well as Hayes, but I would not go ahead and say, hey, I wouldn't put it too far out of realm. That's what I mean to say by Great Falls, Helena, and Havre also being included in this, maybe in the next update where we could see a stray isolated thunderstorm. Gusty winds up to 50 miles an hour, quarter-sized hail, as well as frequent lightning cannot be ruled out. As we head throughout the night, we will see kind of showers become more sparse as we go throughout the night. Great Falls right around 10:30 at night could see a few showers out and about. Better chance for coverage will be up towards the north. Going throughout the night, we should stay dry, but in the afternoon, that's where we're going to see showers and thunderstorms really kick off right in and around Lewistown. So I understand why the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center, they have issued that this will be the best chance to see the severe weather, but we could have a stray severe thunderstorm from Helena up towards Havre as well. Going throughout the night on Thursday into Thursday morning, things are going to start to dry out. Rain still affecting folks in Kalispell and Cutbank, but as we head throughout the day on Thursday, it will be a nice, beautiful day, nice and sunny out, so get outside and enjoy that time. Now, today's high, we did get up to around 66 degrees. Record set back in 1990 when it was 101, the same year that a Disney ticket to go to a park was around $30. Now they're 110. 59 degrees in Great Falls as well as in Helena. A little bit warmer down towards Fort Benton at 64 degrees. The ICAM seems to be down. 66 degrees in Lewistown. Elsewhere, 68 in Havre, 54 in Kalispell, and 68 in Glasgow. Our winds aren't too shabby either, even though we are seeing a little bit breezy conditions right now here in Great Falls. Out of southwest wind at 17 miles an hour. It will pick up, though, as we go throughout the night into tomorrow, seeing the potential for, 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts by around 2:30 in the afternoon. Heads up for that. will be breezy at times. And with our temperatures, I mean, we're going to really be spiking up. 14 degrees difference between tomorrow and Friday. We're going to be really warming up. We're going to stay warm all throughout the weekend before starting to slightly trend down towards a cooler day on Tuesday. Temperatures tonight, 47 in Great Falls, 45 in Helena, and 50 in Havre, 45 in Lewistown. Tomorrow warming up to around 70 degrees. We're going to be looking at a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Breezy conditions though for tomorrow, Thursday, as well as Friday. Isolated thunderstorm possible for the July the 4th day, and then Sunday looking at a better chance for thunderstorms. Tim?
Thanks, Grant. And coming up, striking out. Minor League Baseball makes the baseball season postponement permanent.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. After months of speculation, the 2020 minor league baseball season has officially been canceled. Minor League President Pat O'Connor announced the move in a statement this afternoon after Major League Baseball informed him they would not be providing players for affiliated teams. The news isn't surprising after the start of the season was postponed indefinitely, but now teams can move forward with refunds and adjusted sponsorship deals. The Great Falls Voyagers have already launched a Save Summer at Centene Stadium event series, and will have local reaction from Voyagers management coming up tomorrow. Well, over the past few weeks, we've seen small schools across the country dropping athletics programs, and today, the University of Providence was the latest to cut a sport, discontinuing the women's hockey program after 3 years. Providence added women's hockey in 2017, but the Argos never played a game due to coaching turnover and difficulty in recruiting. Assistant Athletic Director Jim Sargent says the decision to end the program was made independently and not in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
For 3 years, we have tried to build that program here at the University of Providence, and the enrollment's just not there. We're having a hard time recruiting, and it just got worse with the COVID-19, you know, with everybody not real sure exactly what's going to happen next. And so the committee just decided that now is the time to discontinue that program.
The current head coach, Greg Moore, will move to a role with the men's hockey team. Scholarships will be honored for athletes currently on the women's hockey roster. Well, July is Paris Gibson Month in Great Falls, and it's a time to remember the contributions of the city's founder. Tomorrow marks what would have been Gibson's 190th birthday. For 11 years now, a leader and volunteer from the Great Falls community has been chosen as the Paris Gibson Award winner. This year, Judy Erickson is being recognized for her contributions. Judy has lived in Great Falls since the 1960s. She's an award-winning professional potter and shares her artistic gifts with people through classes and coaching.
We learn and share, and that's just my philosophy, I guess, and it works for me. Seeing the faces of children, for example, when they see, you know, I've had children say, "Look what my hands did." You know, there's a magic there.
Although Judy is best known for her artwork, she also volunteers at the Cascade County Detention Center and serves the community through her church. She'll be honored tomorrow at a tree planting ceremony in West Bank Park at 2 p.m. You can also read much more about Judy at KRTV.com. Stay tuned. We'll have a final look at the forecast with Grant Garland coming up next. Stay with us.
Well, tomorrow we'll warm up to 74 in Havre, 70 in Great Falls, 69 in Helena. A little bit warmer though out towards Malta at 77 degrees. And we're going to continue to see a warming trend as we head into our 4th of July weekend, 84 degrees with an isolated chance for a thunderstorm or two on Saturday.
Well, finally, think about what you might do in this situation. You're fishing on a boat and you see a bear swimming in the water with a plastic cheese ball container stuck on its head. One family in Wisconsin was determined to help the distressed little bear. It took 2 passes and 2 tugs, but they were able to remove the container without harm to man or bear. When the man, his wife, and son returned to the resort bar, they learned that the bear had been seen like that for at least 3 or 4 days. Wildlife officials even tried to help the animal but couldn't find it. The man's wife says the bear looked like had they not helped it, the bear wouldn't have made it to shore. Video of the rescue has been viewed 800,000 times on social media. I hope he got the cheese balls that he was looking for.
Yeah, you know, that was a good meal. At least he's got that thing though off of him now.
That's one of the drawbacks of eating it that way.
That way.
Sometimes get stuck on your head.
I guess we need to poo.
All right, that's all the time we have. Have a great night. We'll see you back here at 10.